I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on this rap ish, I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist, in this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers, and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues. Guess if you ain't at the table, you on the menu, and I'm that spitter, baby. They don't want you to see, but everybody's south of Capitol Hill's rocking with me. Boys smoke the trays and ponder getting their life together. I'm comfortable with my role, so I'm like, whatever. Me? I ain't got a job, but I work hard. And you don't work hard, but you got a job. The irony is I'm judged while you feel the applause. I'm slept on, that's why I had to set this alarm. My dudes is armed, I'm armed with this arm charm. Body banging like she got that cream from Barry Bonds. Yeah.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
That trade season is here, a real hitter with a mic, I'm everything that they fear. With that hood ain't the same, I was all on their ass, I'm level-headed. So yo, my dudes love when I spaz, and I'm so over Seattle's passive-aggressive attitude. They don't call you back, what they really saying is F you. While I'm from the same place, I move at a different pace. I prefer if you just said it to my face, damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it
I hate
for
these
us.
average dudes with they average spit, writing average rhymes, knocking average chicks. The closer I get, I can feel the people starting to shift. I'm loyal to a fault, and everybody can't come with. Rap's a rich man's game, I'm only playing with change. They bang models and singers, I'm knocking my own flame, I'm different. The crowd, I move with the chosen few. Black thoughts, I could be the front man for the roots. No diamonds and gold, I'm on my sticks and stones. If we can see your panty line, you should have on a thong. My team is strong, through this fire we forged a bond. And they already know what it is when I get on to the hearse. Party like it's December 31st. When I'm on my deathbed, I probably cracking my nurse. You ain't got the bars to compete. I'm a verbal athlete, deflating these boys so they say that I cheat. Damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Yeah. I should probably start by apologizing for the long wait, man. You know, I know I be tripping. But I'm not just a rapper, I'm an artist. And, you know, my creative process is a little bit different than most. Nonetheless, I want to welcome everybody out to the Dre's Experience. I got TCF in the building. My whole camp's here with me. I got the band in here laying this cool-ass vibe. And I'm Seattle's own. Let's get into it.
Good morning and grand rising to everybody out there. Happy Wednesday to you. Welcome to the Morning Update Show. I'm your co-host, Trey Holiday, and I'm so happy to be back in studio with my guy, Big O. What up, Big O?
Trey Holiday.
Hey.
Welcome back from Holiday Studios.
Yes, absolutely. I missed you guys yesterday, but it was a great show and glad to be always with you in studio. Also, too, before we go any further, got to say thank you to APRI, A. Philip Randolph Institute for these amazing earrings.
Yeah, no, look good on you too.
Yeah,
It's popping.
Yeah, you know, gotta get the colors right, man.
Coordinated. All right. Well, as usual, I want to welcome everybody here to the Morning Update Show. And this is a great opportunity right now to tag and share the stream. Go ahead and tag and share the stream with people that you know would appreciate culturally relevant news and information emanating from right here in the Emerald City. We got a good show on tap for today. We're going to be joined by Shukri Olow. Shukri Olow is going to pop in. Shukri Olow is running for King County Council District Seat number 5. And so we're going to check in with her, see how the campaign is moving along. We're also going to be joined by our buddy, Besa Gordon, giving us a preview of the Rewind with Besa a little later on in the show. And I want to give a big acknowledgement to our director, Oya D'Alessandro, because she got us looking blingy over here on camera. The handcrafted motion graphics is moving. It's like, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
It's all nice and right. Yeah, she's over there doing the job.
Yeah, and also a big shout out as well. So I'm going to the M's game today at 1:15. Brian Callanan from the Seattle channel hit me up. Was like, yo, let's go to the park. So we won't be doing a long show today.
Okay, look, you're gonna be ready. Yeah, you gotta be ready for the M's.
Yeah. What we got first up here? As usual, it's update right here. This is CBS This Morning, and this is update on the Derrick Chauvin trial.
In other news, 9 current or former Minneapolis police officers have now testified against their former colleague, that's Derrick Chauvin, in his murder trial. Prosecutors called 4 officers to the stand yesterday, including a use of force expert from the Los Angeles Police Department. As Jamie Yukas reports, all four of them criticized a fired officer's treatment of George Floyd.
My opinion was that the force was excessive.
Los Angeles Police Sergeant Jody Steiger has trained nearly 3,000 police officers in use of force tactics.
They should have slowed down or stopped their force as well.
Steiger's testimony followed more than half a dozen Minneapolis police officers, including Lieutenant Johnny Marcellus, the department's own use of force instructor. Chauvin attended his training class in 2018.
Is this an MPD trained neck restraint?
No, sir.
Has it ever been?
Not to my neck restraint, no, sir.
Officer Nicole McKenzie, the medical coordinator for the Minneapolis Police Department, was asked about this moment.
I can't breathe.
You're doing fine. You're talking fine.
Just because they're speaking doesn't mean they're breathing adequately.
But the defense asked McKenzie if the crowd could have distracted Chauvin, a central point in their case.
It's very difficult to focus on that patient while there's other things around you if you don't feel safe around you.
Ben Crump, one of the Floyd family attorneys, said he has never seen so many officers testify against another.
It is our hope that that will become the norm when police see things that are wrong or violate policy, that they will tell the truth.
Thank you. We love y'all.
Floyd's brother Rodney was at a midday prayer service outside the courthouse.
Everyone wants justice. This is all shades of ethnicities that's responding and replying and reaching out to us, saying they feel our pain.
Today, that LAPD expert will be back on the stand and likely to face an aggressive cross-examination. While McKenzie was called by the prosecution, the defense said that it intends to call her back about drug use as part of its case. Tony?
We'll be following along. Jamie, thank you very much.
I mean, here we go. We can keep on saying it. We're going to keep on saying it. George Floyd is not on trial here. And, you know, I like how Ben Crump was able to identify he's never before seen this many officers come against an officer who is being charged in a case like this. I mean, clearly, as we keep learning incrementally that this was not this style of use of force, the length of use of force is not the way that they are trained. It has never been a part of how they have dealt with cases like this or dealt with any kind of suspect. I mean, clearly, this is something that we're going to keep learning about. And the fact that they're going to call her back to try to talk about drug use as a part of their defense, it just feels again, man, they're pulling out straws. It's like all they got, bro. And it's really, really sad, to be honest, because they don't have anything that feels substantive at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, the defense is going to do what the defense is going to do. I think the surprising part is how many people in America are riding along with that, who actually they're putting George Floyd on trial here. And, you know, we talk about it all the time, the compassion that's extended to white people who might be using drugs or addicted to drugs. It's like, damn, that compassion ain't getting transferred over to George.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we have to continue to remember, this isn't the George Floyd trial. This is the Derrick Chauvin trial.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I really appreciate there was George Floyd's brother being able to say, look, we have people that are of all races, creed, color, coming to us to say that they understand us. They understand where we're coming from, and they're standing in solidarity with George Floyd's family. And that's another example of, you know, that solidarity amongst the people.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, moving along. Headlines here. This is coming out of Pierce County down in Tacoma. If you remember, Sheriff Troyer had this made this call saying that this black guy who was a paper delivery guy was trying to kill him, and it was a massive police response. Well, now they're calling for an investigation, and they're getting ready to investigate Troyer at a high level. This is a clip right here from King 5 News.
Pierce County is moving forward with an investigation into the 911 call made by Sheriff Ed Troyer. During that call, the sheriff claimed that a black newspaper carrier was threatening to kill him. Today, the county council unanimously approved the steps needed to start the investigation. It comes just one day after King 5 showed you the body cam video from that morning. King 5's Lionel Donovan joins us live with the new calls for Troyer's removal after that video was released. Lionel?
That's right. We've been listening in on the council throughout the day as they try to figure out the steps on how to move forward when it comes to investigating Pierce County sheriffs. Now, community organizers here in Tacoma have been calling for Troyer's removal, saying that this incident is just part of a larger pattern of misconduct and that accountability is what's needed right now. Pierce County moves forward to investigate their sheriff. The council held a meeting today to look into a controversial call made by Sheriff Ed Troyer, where he accused Cedric Altheimer of threatening to kill him. The council states that investigators will determine the facts of what occurred during the incident, whether or not he misused his authority or deviated from standards or policies or violated any laws, investigate past conduct, decide what discipline would look like, and determine what could be done to prevent misuse of authority in the future. Troyer's actions have drawn condemnation from community organizers, claiming that Troyer's actions point to a pattern of misconduct. When we sat down with King 5 law enforcement analyst and former Seattle Police Chief Carmen Besa, she said that this may help rebuild the trust between Pierce County residents and law enforcement.
With all the calls for Sheriff Troyer to step down, it's perfectly reasonable that there would be an independent investigation to determine, what happened, who knew what when, and what the outcome should be. I could also add that, part of leadership, the really difficult part of leadership, is holding yourself as accountable as you would any of your employees. So there's an opportunity here for some self-reflection as well as this investigation moves forward.
Now, as Pierce County continues to move forward with this investigation, they want to make it clear that they will be providing all information to the public. And as soon as any information comes out regarding this investigation, they will make sure to publish it in order to make sure that Pierce County residents can follow along. For now, we're live in Tacoma. Lionel Donovan, King 5 News.
Chief Best didn't give Troyer no space right there, huh? You see, Chief Best was like, yeah, well, you might want to have an independent investigation.
Yeah, and she's right. Ultimately, the people are calling for it. Clearly, I'm glad that they were able to point out the main elements here to where what they're gonna do here. We do need to look at his past misconduct, possibly, and the community is saying this is really an indicator of that. Oh, you said it first, And now we're seeing people are saying the same thing.
Which is good. An independent investigator ideally will get to the heart of the matter and bring the truth to the surface. So, I'm sure that's going to be welcomed by all. Moving along here, this was, we have the headline here first. This is a Capitol Hill, Seattle blog, Justin Carter. This up here yesterday. Remember that plane flying over Capitol Hill during last summer's protest? Here's what it was up to. This is a Capitol Hill Seattle blog. And actually, there was a kind of an expletive in there. Remember that bleeping plane that was flying over? And so those of you that were there at Seattle protest, you remember it was all kinds of stuff in the air on certain days, especially over the Cal Anderson area and the Western Barricade. So it turns out, this lawyer here, sorry, everybody, let me grab my notes. Seattle criminal defense attorney Nakim Bochida went and basically filed and got the public records from the Washington State Police and has a bunch of videos. And actually, we'll put the link. There's a link to Justin Carter's article. We'll put that in the comments there. You'll see there's quite a few video there. But we're going to play this video clip. It's about 40 seconds of some of the stuff that this Washington State Patrol plane was shooting.
South side of 12th and Pike. They're blocking it off with bicycles and bringing in heavy backpacks per 3 lanes.
Oh, yep. I see that. I'm going to start recording this just in case. Did you hear his traffic?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's the bicycles, they're blocked off, and then Everybody has backpacks there.
Copy, peaceful still at 12 and Pike.
We're seeing who we recognize over here. So the state police said that they were flying in support of operations on the ground with state troopers working with Seattle police and the National Guard. And I mean, it's interesting in a lot of different ways. I mean, we knew, we were telling people this is definitely surveillance, and people came over with the choppers and, you know, and some of everything else. And man, I got a lot of different thoughts on this right here. One, I'm glad this is coming out. There was another aircraft that was up there. I believe it was a National Guard aircraft, and there was something else was flying up there to intercept cell phone signals and some of everything else above the protest zone. And you know, the Washington State Patrol, I think people feel some kind of way about the Washington State Patrol because it was the Washington State Patrol, that field force unit or the field unit there, where the commander was heard on tape saying like, yo, don't kill him, just hurt him up real bad. And when we talk about no sense of de-escalation, you talk about June 1st, man, putting the troopers up there at the front line, you know, people knew it was getting ready to go down because those guys don't hesitate. And so, you know, we see that they had their aircraft up there as well. And this is just what was released through whatever. We don't know what might not be released. And, you know, there's another version. There's the infrared kind of version. And then there's also the high, like a regular version with a very powerful lens that's on there as well. But we kept telling people like, man, the police are seeing so although vision is obstructed in one part of the protest, that plane was able to give a real good visual. So it would really be good to be able to go over that as well, especially the Western Barricade, because, you know, we kept hearing these reports. The police were saying that this crowd is so violent, the crowd is this and that. And maybe that aerial footage will give a much bigger perspective.
Yeah, I mean, even something that we could hear clearly on the tape, you know, just saying, hey, peaceful still. That's very true. And again, I think that when we think about being on the ground during that time, what we witnessed was a lot of peaceful action, more so than folks being difficult or being dangerous in any real way. So I think that once again, you know, this aerial footage may begin to put some more light on exactly what many of us were experiencing on the ground.
Yeah, and so you can read more about this at CapitolHillSeattle.com, and we have the link there in the comments. It'd be interesting to know for people who are out there at the protest, what are your thoughts on this? And also, you know, we've been telling people all along, this is just these cameras that were released. Yeah. It'd be interesting to get the stuff that the National Guard had. It's interesting to get the stuff that the feds had out there, all these other cameras that are out there. And so it's like, you know, I mean, believe me, the police, law enforcement, and they got footage of all kinds of stuff. The stream on the ground is just the smallest thing, you know, with all this aerial support. So one more thing here. I think before we go to break, we got Shukri Olow back there in the green room. And so we're gonna get an update on the campaign. Before we do that, though, I want to play a quick clip right here. I talked to Deputy Mayor Tiffany Washington last night. We're actually going to air this on Sunday, I believe, at 7 p.m. Brand new show we're launching here called The District. And the District, we're just focusing on District 2 and District 3. And we really want to be able to hold elected officials and appointed officials accountable to the district. And so Deputy Mayor Tiffany Washington in the inaugural episode, and we expect to have council members on there, school board members, city council members, some of everybody who comprise District 2 and District 3. But this was Tiffany Washington, Deputy Mayor, talking about defund.
So the 50% cut is a distraction. It's a distraction. It's an easy win, in my opinion. If that's all it takes for us to be happy, then great. And it doesn't even solve the problem. How does defunding the police by 50% solve over 400 years of slavery? So to me, I'm always like, let's go deeper. Defund the police for what? To invest in community. Okay, I agree with that. But how come when it's time for the community to get better, we have to get better in 365 days? But we were harmed for over 400 years. So my point to city council was, I'm not falling for the distraction that we've somehow won if we cut SPD's budget by 50%. I'm also not falling for the lie that says, or that requires Black people to choose between whether we want a police officer to come to our house if we have a burglary in a timely manner, or if we want resources in the community. Why do we have to choose one? Can we have both? Why do I have to choose whether I want the community to be deeply invested in and whether I want SPD budget to be cut? It's a trap. It's a trick. It's a facade. I'm not falling for it. The answer is, and I wrote this down, invest in communities of color, allow time for healing, which is way longer than we're going to see in a year or 2 years, and then reevaluate the need for police overtime, not overtime. Reevaluate the need for police as you see the investments paying off. And so to me, now we're in a position where we lost the first Black female chief of police, which I don't understand how that's a win. And we're the last place that people want to come to when they graduate from the academy to be police officers. I just don't see how it's a win. When the call times are down, like people can't get a response in a timely manner. We don't have enough police officers. We don't have a permanent chief of police. I don't even know if anybody would want to be a permanent chief of police right now. I don't see how that's a win. And I don't see how pitting those two priorities against each other are a win.
All right. So Deputy Mayor Tiffany Washington there. And like I said, the first episode of The District is going to be on Sunday at 7 p.m. And we were only supposed to talk for like 40 minutes, man. We were like an hour and 10 minutes as a very good conversation.
Yeah. And one of the things I really appreciate about her approach here is that what she's really calling out is a both and, right? And I think so many people would agree with that and understand that that's kind of the middle ground that we really need right now to understand. So I'm excited to see the rest of this video and the rest of the interview, having met with Tiffany Washington. I really appreciate her approach. And I think that, it's great that she's deputy mayor right now. And it sucks that she's going to be gone when this mayor is gone, because I think her lived experience and bringing that into the position is really what's needed in terms of diversifying the perspectives that are at that level in the mayor's administration. So happy to see how this, the whole thing shapes up on Sunday, man. It's great.
Yeah, it's interesting. You said lived experience. I think that's our clip for tomorrow is when she talks a real interesting story of her childhood all the way through to now a position there as deputy mayor. We're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we're checking in with Shukri Olow. You are watching the Morning Update Show.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on this rap ish, I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own. Tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers, and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.
All right, welcome back to the Morning Update Show. And Trey Holidays, we have a guest today.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited to hear more about Shukri's campaign.
Oh, yeah, D'Alessandro. Please bring in Shukri Olow. Hello.
Good morning, Trey and Amari.
How are you?
I am well. I'm hanging in there. Trey, I love your earrings. I'm going to have to ask you offline where you purchased it from.
Thank you. Thank you. A gift from a Philip Randolph Institute. You know, believe it or not, sometimes people are give us gifts.
She gets gifts.
I can see why.
No, but actually, they made me the T-shirt in
Yeah,
gold.
there you go.
That said Converge Media. So I know we only got a few minutes this morning, but we wanted to check back with you and see where you're at with your campaign. So tell us what's going on.
Yeah, I appreciate the invitation. Just wanted to kind of amplify the work of our youth team. We have 30-member youth team that are organizing on the ground, that are kind of planning our kickoff event happening tomorrow, that are, you talked earlier about accountability, Omari, that are holding me as a candidate accountable both to community, but also to myself and to our campaign's values. And so just wanted to amplify the incredible work that they're doing tomorrow night. Our youth team is hosting our campaign kickoff, which is happening at 6 p.m. I believe we have a little over 150 folks who've RSVP'd to the event. And they have some exciting programs, including several speakers, my mother being one of them, who I hope will say good things about me as her daughter. And we'll also talk more about kind of why she believes I'm the best candidate for this position, as well as the deputy mayor of the city of Burien, city council member of Tequila, Cynthia Delastrinos Johnson, Riley Haggard, who's a small business owner in the district, and Reagan Jackson, author, poet, and an incredible supporter of the campaign. They'll be on tomorrow night, and our young people are just organizing incredible kickoff that is going to be fun and innovative and all of the good things. And so I'm excited for that, and just wanted to give them a shout out and hope to see your community members who watch your station as well.
Oh, Shukri, it sounds like you guys have an amazing event plan for that event and for your kickoff. My question quickly to you is, what made you think, you know what, let's go with the young people and how they want to shape this up? It sounds like, you really have thought about that and probably been very intentional about having these young people in the foreground like that. What was that about for you?
Yeah, so the great question, Trey. The theme of the event is called You Belong Here, which came out of the youth group as well. And for this campaign, I want young people in this district and beyond to know that they belong in this community, that they belong in spaces of decision making, that they belong in politics if they're interested in pursuing that in the future. And I believe deeply, like at my core, that young people need to be able to have their ideas, their priorities, their power centered, not in just political campaigns, but in all spaces. And so the idea of forming a youth team for our campaign was actually inspired by the work of Kirsten Harris-Talley, Representative Kirsten Harris-Talley from the 37th. We reached out to the youth who worked with her on her campaign, and they gave us some strategies, some ideas on how we could develop our own and kind of help to shape what the campaign is going to look like. And so, yeah, they are so energetic, so passionate about politics, and hopefully will also continue to stay involved post-campaign as well.
All right. Shukri Olow, before we let you go, please tell everybody how they can keep up with your campaign.
Thank you, Omari. You can keep up with our campaign by following our youth team at Shukri for King County on Insta. And the youth team is called Youth for Shukri on Insta. They're actually not on Facebook. Apparently, all the young folks are on Insta, or the TikTok, as I call it. On our campaign website, you can get more information about some of the events that we have going on. There's several events coming up next week and the month of May as well. The website or Facebook page is Shukri for King County Council District 5. And our website for the campaign is electshukriolow.com.
All right. Nice. Shukri, thanks for joining us. I know you're pressed on time, but, like I said, we like to keep checking in with these candidates here. And also, if Shukri gets elected, that would be a very historic election in King County as well. So wishing you all the best of luck, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thanks, Shukri.
Thanks so much. Have a good day.
All right. Yeah, I think if elected, to be the first Black woman to sit on the King County Council.
Yeah, I mean, this is exciting.
Really, I think it'd be for the whole state. It'd be the first county council person for the whole state in the history of the state.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that what we're seeing, I think, during this particular election season is a lot of those kind of historic wins, man. People going after these seats. I love it.
Yeah, it's activated. This is what I'm saying, is it's real activated, especially further south of Seattle and into South King County.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of competitive races. All right, before we get to break, I got handcrafted motion graphic. Is Besa back there? All right. So when we come back, we're going to be talking to Besa Gordon. She's going to give us a preview on the Rewind with Besa. You are watching the Morning Update Show.
Public Health, Seattle, King County, Zero Youth Detention, along with our partners from across the South King County region, are committed to reducing violence and creating the conditions needed for our neighborhoods to be safe and free of crime. Too often, the response to crime and violence has been a piecemeal approach with a program here and a program there. When family units collapse, schools fail to educate, the economy fails to produce jobs, and crime rises, we've looked to law enforcement and punitive measures to save us. Nothing could be more wrong or further from the truth. Law enforcement can't shoulder all the burden or take the rest of us off the hook. We are acknowledging the lived experiences of Black, Brown, and Indigenous communities. We are centering community as the experts who can effectively identify key issues related to systems, policies, and practices that impact children, families, and communities of color across this region. Those most impacted by the issues will help call out and identify the root causes, including structural and systemic factors. 150 residents will partner with King County to develop strategies, solutions, and an action plan that explicitly addresses system changes needed and eliminates barriers to access for Black, Brown, and Indigenous folks. These residents will also identify the criteria used to measure our collective success. Simply put, we need your help as we do the work needed to make King County the safest in this country. It will take specific commitments from all of us, community members, our young people, elders, and leaders from the sectors all across this region. Together, we will get this work done. Please click the link below and sign up for a work group. Or you can recommend a co-facilitator from community for each work group. We look forward to hearing your ideas, concerns, feedback, and solutions as we build a community where all our children can be happy, healthy, hopeful, safe, and thriving.
All right, welcome back to the Morning Update Show. And yeah, we want to encourage people, be part of the solution. Go to zeroyouthdetention.com/work groups. Man, let these guys know what's on your mind, how you envision public safety in King County.
Yeah, it's a great way to get involved. I mean, again, we always say that, and I'm glad that we have that as a commercial right now. It's a great way for folks to use their voice.
Yeah, no, by the way, and it's actually a public service announcement,
Yeah.
not even a commercial. It's a PSA.
There we go.
All right. Oh, yeah, D. Alessandro. Man, I just like calling your name. Oh, yeah. I'll be honest with you. It just rolls off better than Grab Rock.
Not true, Jake.
See, they don't. Oh, yeah, D. Alessandro. Please bring in Besa Gordon.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Besa. Happy Wednesday, boo.
Happy Wednesday.
What's up, Besa? How are you?
I'm tired. I haven't had my coffee yet. But I'm good.
She might not say. I'm going to tell you why Besa's tired, right? She been doing like 5-10 TikToks a day. It's like, it's wild, man.
It's telling on my damn business. Telling on my business, no. But the funny story is I really did actually go to bed at like 2:33 this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then got up, I want to say, at like 8.
That'll do it.
Yeah. But I have insomnia. So like I'm always up to like 1 or 2 in the morning. So honestly, that's one of the reasons why I started doing the TikToks, because I'm like, look, if I'm going to be up until like 2 in the morning watching Netflix, I might as well be doing something productive to grow my brand than just sitting here binge watching a TV show that's not going to make me no money.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
You know, that little Apple thing, the sleep thing says that I sleep 2 hours a night, man. I don't like. Yeah, I was saying I was actually gonna screenshot it and like put in my story, but I was like, I think I'll get too many like responses of people being like, "Yo, what's going?
Take care of yourself."
It's 2 hours, man. I don't. We trying to build the business, and so I tell people, they're like, "Man, what do you aspire for?" I was like, man, if I could just sleep 6 hours, I'd be so happy.
Wow.
All right, so Besa, we'll put up the overlay here. Maybe you can give us, you can tell us what's going on this Saturday with Rewind with Besa. And also, we got a video clip.
Yes. So this Saturday, I am going to bring in my first in-person guest. It is my boo, Holly Michelle. She actually just dropped a new EP. It's called On One. We actually have a little clip of her music if y'all want to play that real quick.
Yes, it's coming.
I think it's crazy you say you love me, you can't keep it real. I think it's crazy that you say you want me, you won't climb that hill. I think it's crazy, baby. You feel you gotta lie, you gotta sneak and gotta hide. It's crazy, baby, that I'm on your mind, 'cause I'm not on your time.
And you know I had to cut it right there.
I'm surprised you even played it.
It took a minute of searching through videos that I felt that might be
would be appropriate
for our morning show. Maybe you can tell our viewers a little bit about Holly Michelle. I know that you
I mean, in a nutshell, I really do want for people to actually tune in on Saturday to get to know her. But she is an artist from Seattle. She's been doing music for a little bit. She does rapping, she sings. I want to say she plays guitar and piano. I could be wrong. We can definitely get that to you a little bit more on Saturday. But aside from that, she's going to be basically my guest co-host for Saturday. So we're going to talk about predictions for the Derrick Chauvin case, DMX. There's this new movie on Netflix called Sea Piracy, I want to say it's called. And then, of course, we'll do like some talk about Kanye West, my new love for TikTok that Omari was just talking about. And of course, again, we're just going to get to know Holly Michelle because she's an artist from out here and might as well show our people some love.
Well, you know what, Besa, I gotta say, I mean, I love that. There's so much great talent here in Seattle, and thank you for using your platform to showcase it, because oftentimes we don't know about great acts until they kind of make it big. So this is awesome, so that I can learn more about Holly Michelle and become a fan. I'm all about good music.
I think I'm directing I think I'm directing that show on Saturday, and so I need to prepare myself.
Yeah, you can bring some ice. It's going to be a good show, though.
We're going to have to get the ice chips ready. All right, so that's this Saturday at 2 o'clock for the Rewind with Besa. We got in-studio guest, Holly Michelle. We're going to catch back up with you on Friday, right?
Yep.
All right. Yay. Catch you then, Besa. Thank you.
Bye, Besa.
Besa's been on the grind. Like, this TikTok thing is real. And like JC from OVG, his TikTok, because he's doing like these Black History clips in 60 seconds, his TikTok is like on fire. And actually, we're getting JC is actually making TikTok content for the Converge TikTok. So we're getting ready to load all this stuff up there because a lot of it's educational and informational. These guys are going ham on the TikTok.
Hey, you got to use the platforms that are out there. And I think it's such a great thing that, people are being able to create these edutainment pieces, I love to say, on platforms like TikTok. I'm seeing a lot of that stuff merge over into the reels on IG. So, hey, man, folks are getting that information, from these new platforms. It's great.
All right, good stuff. We're going to take a short break right now. In our last segment, we're talking about college debt, but it's a good story. Don't worry. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
I did it for the city. I did it for the love. I did it for the people. I did it for us.
Back on this rap ish. I ain't even broke a sweat, homie. This practice. Pondering my next move. Staring at my track list. Hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist. Seattle's own. Tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers, and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.
All right, welcome back to the Morning Update Show. My name is Omari Salisbury.
I'm Trey Holiday.
Trey Holiday.
Hey.
Man. All right, so you went to a HBCU.
Yeah.
You still got some debt.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, the best thing, you talk about things that can bring America together, right? One thing that can bring all Americans together is college debt.
Yeah.
But this is a segment right here from Good Morning America, and where it's a show where they're surprising HBCU graduates by paying off their college debt.
Something a lot of young graduates are now facing. Imagine wrapping up years of college only to then be saddled with debt from student loans. Unfortunately, the two almost go hand in hand these days. But now some very lucky HBCU alumni are receiving a much needed helping hand. Take a look.
You're not just a finalist, you've won. You won $55,000 and I'm live. This is not a recording.
You gotta tell me how you feel.
I'm in shock.
That is fantastic. What you're seeing there are folks learning that they had won $25,000. That was a surprise to help them pay off their debt. And let's bring in now the two that have joined forces with TBS to help make it all happen. With us now, actors and HBCU proud alum, Keisha Napoleon and Lance Gross. Now, Keisha, why did you have to put that stank on it when you gave her the announcement? 25.
I mean, I'm saying it's a big deal. And, you know, they actually thought they were there as finalists. Like this was their final interview. So they're sitting there thinking, okay, there's another step. So we had to let them know, no, you won.
Well, the response was priceless. I can watch that over and over again. And Lance, there are winners from Alabama State University, Morehouse College, Delaware State University, and your alma mater, Howard University. Give us a sense of what impact that money will have on these students.
Oh, this is big. I mean, it's all about financial freedom. I was lucky enough to go to college on a full track and field scholarship, but I have many friends who are weighed down by student loan debt. So this was very big for them. $25,000 is a lot of money.
Absolutely.
Now, Lance, I'm just curious, what was your event in track and field?
So I got my scholarship for the long jump.
For the long, oh, wow.
And I also did the 4x4.
Well, all right then. You've been doing leaps and bounds ever since, my man. All right, Keisha, let me bring you back in here. You're a proud Spelman grad. I want to ask, still does it feel like, and look, we've worked in a lot of businesses, and sometimes people see that resume with an HBCU on it, and whether they'll say it out loud or not, they don't consider them to have the same prestige, or they're not as good as some other state universities. Please tell folks what this has meant to you being at Spelman and how that was an enhanced experience instead of taking anything away.
Absolutely. You know, I think it's funny. I guess it depends on who you're talking to, because once you get out into business in the world, what you'll find is to find the best talent of color, the best Black talent, they come to the HBCUs, they come to the Howards, the Spelmans, the Morehouses, the FAMUs.
And Lance, I want to ask you, just we saw the reaction, that priceless reaction, learning that maybe they aren't going to be saddled with so much debt. But what is your best advice for students, for graduates, as they take off on their life after graduating from one of these universities?
I mean, they already have the right foot ahead of them. You know what I mean? They're doing everything that they're supposed to do. These winners, they impressed us, they impressed TBS, and you know, they're the best of the best.
And I just want to piggyback on that. The other thing is, $25,000 taking away student debt. It's the financial freedom, whether to put a down payment on a home, to invest in your business. It's a real game changer moving forward, especially with the pandemic and the hard year that everyone has had. It's definitely a game changer, and it's very well deserved.
We're reacting to these expressions we're seeing as people, as they got the news, they were winners. You two, really, thank you so much for being here, for what you did with this event and this contest. But again, continuing to be out there and to toot that horn about Spelman and the Howards of the world and those HBCUs that have been doing great things for African American students in this country for a long, long time. So good to see you both.
Yeah, so great.
Likewise.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that to us. And by the way, if you can't get enough, which I can't, you can check out more of those incredible winning moments and watch TBS's Cash Out contest in its entirety on YouTube at TBS. That was amazing. I'm gonna go watch it back in my dressing room.
Reactions,
so
how
real and good.
To
and
leave college with no debt, to have it wiped out, that's just a game changer.
Oh man, it really is a game changer. And shout out to Keisha Knight and for Lance, you guys, teaming together to do this. I love it because I started Howard with Lance. So I just love seeing progression of so many great people that start at HBCUs and make something of their lives. As Keisha Knight Pulliam said there, I agree wholeheartedly, because depending on who you talk to, when you're in an interview and you say that you have that HBCU backing you and you come from an understanding of a deeper, rich history of Black culture, that really you are one of the top candidates for a lot of these roles. And as companies and corporations are looking for more and more diversity, it is not surprising that they would be uplifting interviewees and candidates that are coming out of HBCU. So congratulations to those guys for launching such a great show, and TBS finding the importance of telling these kinds of stories. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, the Black colleges are coming more and more into the mainstream, I guess, which is good. But then also we know every time we get something in the mainstream, it's whatever. But like with Deion Sanders, who's the head coach down there at Jackson State University, and then all of a sudden, boom, you see Jackson State University is their football games are on ESPN. Now Pepsi's making a deal with the SWAC and Southwestern Athletic Conference and some everything else. And I'll say this, if it was my time on air at WRVS 89.9 ECSU at Elizabeth City State University and working with iconic people like the legendary it's just so many legendary people that I worked with down there, but especially Greg Sampson, rest in peace. And Greg Sampson, man, we had all the digital stuff, but we had reel to reel down there. Greg Sampson taught us how to splice the tapes and like really the fundamentals of it. Also, Rogene Bailey at the Black College Sports Report. I used to be a correspondent for the Black College Sports Report, so I would drive all around the South. Then every Saturday, at a football game or during basketball, I'd be for the Black College Sports Report. I am Omari Salisbury, and so it was really. Working there at WRVS and working for the Black College Sports Report, that really opened up so many things for me and really taught the fundamentals of this business that I stick with me to this day. So that was good to see.
Absolutely. I agree with you. There's so many fundamentals that stuck with me from my Howard days. So being able to experience that, I'm always telling my son, hey, don't count out HBCUs. You know what I'm saying? They are a great option for you. He's always thinking about basketball. But I'm like, let's find the middle ground, because now we got some colleges, that are really competitive in their sports arenas, as you just said.
Well, you see Master P's son. He just signed with Tennessee State University, HBCU, and his son was one of the top recruits in the country. And so a lot of people are like, you know what? I'm gonna send my kids down here to this historically Black college and university, especially right now with the tone and how everything is in America, man. Go into a HBCU is something special because it really does insulate you and uplift you at the same time.
Absolutely.
And prepare you for so many things that you're going to face in the world, and it's a unique experience. We're getting out of here a little early today, but any last words for you, Trey?
Hey, I keep saying this, you guys, in terms of seeing yourself as a part of the solution. I think it's more than that. It's not just about seeing yourself as a part of the solution. You got to become a part of the solution. So I encourage all of you to find your trek to becoming a part of the solution to the changes that you want to see that'll really make America the best America we know it can be.
All right, good stuff. Like I said, I'm getting ready to head to the ballpark, catching up with my buddy, Brian Callanan from the Seattle channel. Go catch the M's, see if we can bring us some good luck. Let me see. Tomorrow, 7:00, it's Clapback Culture with Julia Jesse and Mike Davis. So you want to make sure and tune in for that. And again, Saturday at 2:00, the Rewind with Besa. And then Sunday at 7:00, brand new show, The District, and we'll have Deputy Mayor Tiffany Washington. As usual, want to remind everybody, go forward in your purpose, go forward in your humanity. And until tomorrow at 11 a.m., peace.
Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought. Facing the rising sun.